It's a big anniversary week for horror films, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, it's the 10th anniversary of Saw. That horrendous exploitation film that was nothing but torture porn, even though it wasn't that graphic of a movie at all. No matter, in honor of the anniversary of the film that still birthed the Hostel franchise, let's look back at... What do you mean it's gone from theaters already? What do you mean no one gave a shit? Well, the fuck else can I spotlight on the show? Surely there's not some other big anniversary for a popular series of horror films. Wait, it is the 30th anniversary of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Why the fuck didn't they just re-release that to theaters? Now, I know you're expecting me to do one of the film's lesser sequels, but I can't do that. I haven't done the first one yet, and then you'd just be confused.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
No!
She's the only one who can stop it. If she fails...
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
No one will survive.
Help me, please! Where are you?
From Wes Craven, director of The Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left, a new masterpiece in fantasy terror.
Freddy Krueger is the original man of your dreams, the Willy Wonka of sleep, if you will, and the most likable child molester of all time. Spawning music videos, video games, and TV series, I guess a lot of people like this guy. I personally do not approve of movie serial killers being marketed towards children, and I am going to express my outrage by expressing my outrage and then moving on to something else. A Nightmare on Elm Street is the brainchild of writer-director Wes Craven, who was inspired by a series of LA Times articles detailing immigrants from Southeast Asia who had died in their sleep after trying desperately hard to stay awake. Well, I think the answer is obvious. Freddy Krueger did it. But enough of me proving that I've seen the Never Sleep Again documentary. What does a cinema snob like me think of one of the most popular and lucrative horror franchises of all time? Of course I don't like it. If I want to see a movie about sleep, I will stick with the science of sleep, thank you very much. Ugh, looks like I accidentally got a bootleg version of the film. Zoom in, damn it! And how am I supposed to be excited if an egg made it? I don't care how smart it is. Okay, so what's gonna happen? Is Freddy gonna start rapping, or is he gonna turn someone into a cockroach, or teleport them into a video game? Ooh. This doesn't seem funny at all. Okay, maybe the shenanigans come into play later in the film. Introducing Johnny Depp? This was years before Alice in Wonderland de-introduced Johnny Depp. And is it really necessary for horror movies to continually slander boiler rooms? Boiler rooms are essential to important facilities such as hospitals and power plants, and they deserve our respect. I can't see this dream turning out well.
You okay, Tina?
Just a dream, Mom.
Ugh, that's not how dreams work. Good luck waking up for school the next day. Well, I'd be having nightmares too if my neighbors were made up of creepy horror movie kids. Here we have our collection of heroes who will obviously make it through the entire movie.
Hey, up yours with a twirling lawnmower.
Yes, even Fonzie is immune to the hauntings of Freddy. Tina is having some horrible nightmares, but obviously there's a rational explanation for it.
Maybe we're gonna have a big earthquake. They say things get really weird just before.
Makes sense. Before the Northridge earthquake of 1994, I woke up with gummy bears in my ass and lizards down my throat. I also took acid. Before anything else terrible happens, we need to see them be hilarious first.
Huh? Yeah, noisy as usual. Yeah, sure, Just some kids drag racing outside. Some neighbors having a fight, I guess. I'm fine. I'll call you in the morning.
So juvenile. My jokes, that is. My jokes are very juvenile. But Tina's friend Nancy senses something very familiar about Tina's dreams.
All day long I've been seeing that guy's weird face. And hearing those fingernails.
Fingernails? That's amazing you saying that. That made me remember the dream I had last night.
You both dreamed about Coffin Joe? At least Johnny Depp's Glenn is here to be the voice of reason.
That's impossible.
Not true. Johnny Depp and Nicolas Cage have both had recurring nightmares about Jerry Bruckheimer. When a noise is heard outside, Johnny Depp goes into full-on Nightmare on 21 Jump Street mode. Minus a saxophone, of course.
It's Riley and Ricky Lance down just 3 yards from the goal line.
Oh, you want the Slumber Party Massacre set? It's a few houses down. And yet another perfectly good teen comedy is ruined by sex.
We got our mother's bed. You guys got the rest.
Excellent. We can now fuck in the broom closet. Or not. That's what it's like for my roommate whenever I have to watch porn. Ugh, I was wonderful. Enough to give her deadly fucking nightmares. Now Freddy is taking advantage of her fear of Cyrano de Bergerac. And that is not how walls work, movie. I don't care if you do live in a latex house. All it took was for one psychopath in the 80s to take advantage of everyone being a lucid dreamer. Oh good, you're safe. Mr. Fantastic is here. Wait, that's not Mr. Fantastic at all. These effects are way better. Why isn't it showing his face? I don't like that it's not showing his face. Oh, there it is. Good one, jackass. Now you have to create another glove for your injured hand. On the bright side, this isn't nearly as bad as the nightmare Tina had when she was stuck in a building with a killer baboon. Wait, has anyone made a dancing on the ceiling joke to this scene? I need to know if someone has ever referenced dancing on the ceiling while watching this movie. They have? Well, fuck. When is this movie gonna get funny? I want to complain about how murder isn't funny. This case is way too gruesome for Officer Hansen. Gonna have to bring in Officer Booker for this one. Uh-oh. Cops in a Wes Craven movie? Wait, John Saxon? These cops are too serious. When is one of them gonna fall off of a chicken coop? Every horror heroine needs a Detective John Saxon dad.
You know, Tina, she dreamed this was gonna happen.
Well, she also dreamed the Easter Bunny was making anal beads out of hard-boiled eggs, but I don't see that happening. Now to go to the one place I won't fall asleep, school!
I'll sleep in study hall.
No, you'll sleep in chemistry class, that's what it's there for. While Tina's boyfriend Rod is on the loose for murder, I'm sure he's not dumb enough to...
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you.
I've also got a confession. My real name isn't Nick Corey, it's Sue Garcia. Ugh, I'm not used to seeing competent cops in a Wes Craven movie.
Real easy, like your ass depended on it.
And then he shot him in the ass. Good, our murderer has been caught. Now the movie can be over.
You used me.
What the hell were you doing going to school today for anyway?
You're 20 years old, why are you still in school? This is getting weird. I think this is the first horror movie with Lynn Shay in it where she doesn't explain what's going on. And if you think that's odd, Laurie Strode is on the other side of the class being creeped on by Michael Myers. That, by the way, is the other half of the same joke that I used in the Halloween episode. This isn't even a nightmare. This is just what she gets for coming to school on April Fool's Day. Wait a minute. This is the movie Heather Langenkamp was watching in Wes Craven's new Nightmare. Ugh! Another slap in the face to boiler rooms.
Who are you?
And why are you drinking so much spoiled Ecto-Cooler? I suppose this is where we get one of Freddy Krueger's famous one-liners.
Come to Freddy.
This shit is creeping me out! And while Nancy flips her shit out in the classroom, Ilsa Tigress of Siberia doesn't know what to think of this. And what the hell, someone in the class gave her a hickey while she slept? Hang on, they put her in prison for skipping class oh, wait, sorry. Well, Murad's being locked up for a crime he didn't commit. I'm sure he's not having any nightmares.
Who's this guy? He had knives for fingers.
This movie is such a ripoff of Mahakal. And this is why you should definitely not have sex before marriage. Vaginas have knives. I've never seen a bathtub like this. When is he gonna teleport someone into a comic book? Naturally, Nancy feels that she definitely has to stay awake now, but can't you pick a much better film to watch? Your Mother Was in Nashville. That won't put you to sleep. Or just have Johnny Depp talk to you all night.
What'd you do to your arm?
I burned it in English class.
Look, we were reading Fahrenheit 451, alright? Anything else to add?
Do you believe that people can dream about what's going to happen?
No.
That's why he said yes to Dark Shadows. Ooh, I am a serious dick. Nancy comes up with a fantastic plan to test her scary dream man theory, and it involves breaking curfew.
Glenn? Are you still watching?
Yeah, so?
Okay, if they have the power of Inception, this problem should have been dealt with by now, and with a fantastic Hans Zimmer soundtrack. I don't ever remember seeing something like this happening in a Christopher Nolan movie, and he made a movie called Insomnia. Ew! Bleh, now he's chasing her down the street. I don't know why, but that makes this movie sexist. You gotta stop stepping in the oatmeal holes that are already marked. That's slowing you down. This movie's not scaring me.
It's just a dream. This isn't real. This is just a dream. He isn't real. He isn't real.
Oh! I'm blaming Johnny Depp for scaring the shit out of me like that.
I just asked you to do one thing. Just stay awake and watch me. Just wake me up if it looked like I was having a bad dream. And what did you do, you shit?
Off to private resort for you, mister. Only a matter of time now before Freddy, wait. This is one of those Final Destination movies. Surely Tony Todd will show up to give the same speech he gives in all those movies. The plus side is, he came so hard. And he got a burial spot right next to Howard Stark. I don't like seeing the consequences of death in these movies.
And may Rod Lane rest in peace.
You know what this scene needs? His soul on top of a pizza. And palm trees? Still not buying that this is Haddonfield, Illinois. I really don't see the point in visiting this sleep specialist either, seeing how the head doctor is Roger Rabbit.
Please, Nancy. Trust us.
It's not you I don't trust. It's
just that guy can't even look after a cigar-smoking baby. Don't worry, I'm sure this facility is on the up and up. You can smoke any goddamn where you like. I think I know where this is going.
Something's wrong. It never gets this high.
What's she doing? Is she dreaming?
That's what I keep saying. These horror films need a little dose of a medication that I like to call Jesus. I see that this went incredibly well.
Oh my god! Get something!
To be fair, we did hide razor blades in the bed. It is still technically April Fool's. And she pulled out something from dreaming about a spirit Halloween. Way to bring lice into the goddamn house.
Give me that damn thing. It even has his name written in it. Fred Krueger, Mom. Fred Krueger.
Excuse me? His name is Freddy Krueger? The show's not called Fred's Nightmares. The important thing is that these two respect each other.
Or maybe I should grab that bottle and veg out with you. Avoid everything happening to me by just getting good and loaded.
What'd you slap her for? I'm good and loaded right now as we speak. That's what she needs, some good old alcohol-infused sleep. You won't dream about jack shit. Or go another route, I guess.
Booby traps and improvised anti-personnel devices? Well, what are you reading that for?
Because I also need to keep out Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. Now mind your own goddamn business. Speaking of which, bars on the windows would have made Home Alone a much shorter film. All this expense placed on putting bars on the windows and they leave the door unlocked. Jessica Lange is dying to play this part someday. Nancy's mom confesses to her that Fred Krueger was a child murderer who all the parents in town got together and burnt the fucker to a crisp when the courts let him go. I don't know why I'm saying this. You've all seen this movie! But did you know she's planning on selling his knives to the nearest plant in Hollywood? This explanation is fine, but I still don't know why the mom is skeptical about what Nancy says. She pulled a hat out of her fucking dream! The only one who's taking this more lightly is Depp.
And if he gets me, I'm pretty sure you're next.
Me? Why would anybody want to kill me?
Because it's gonna look really cool when you get sucked into a bed. Sorry, have I said too much?
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Perfect. That line is gonna look fantastic in all the trailers. Instead of coffee, she could have just done a shot of Jolt Cola. Freddy's not gonna go after someone with a heart condition. He's not that kind of monster. Naturally, the neighbors are beginning to talk.
You know what I think? I think that kid is some kind of lunatic or something.
Yeah, well, you're John Gacy, so shut the fuck up. This was back when it was really scary for a phone to ring without a cord. Not sure if this was an appropriate time for a Jerky Boys cameo, but I appreciate the effort. Locking her in the house while her boyfriend is murdered is the worst thing Joan Crawford did to Christina. But seriously, you don't want to be in here. Think of the mess that will end up on your clothes. That's what he gets for having an upside-down room. Someone drank so hard, even their bed got the beer shits. This is no worse than what the critics did to Transcendence.
Oh my god.
Oh, the cleanup bill is gonna kill me! And again, no one told me that this series started out creepy. How in the hell do we go from this to him referencing a power glove? Even Saxon is disturbed by this shit.
Listen very carefully, please.
Nancy.
I'm gonna go and get the guy who did it. And I want you to be there to arrest him when I bring him out, okay?
Just tell me who did it. I'll go get him, baby.
This is what I've been saying the whole movie. John Saxon just needs to shoot him in the face. At this point, she just wants to capture any Krug. It could be Robert Englund, David Hess, it doesn't matter. At least this will make a hilarious jackass video if Johnny Knoxville comes walking through the door. Oh, she's on her own. They'll be draining Glenn for the next 2 weeks.
What's the coroner got to say? He's in the jaw and puking since he saw it.
Well, then he's not a very good coroner. She doesn't know how lucky she is. If they had gone with the original Freddy Krueger, David Warner, she'd be looking at her entrails right now. Because he once played Jack the Ripper, you see. She may be going to sleep, but I'm not buying that this is a dream. There's no oatmeal holes on the steps. She's made a terrible mistake. She's accidentally gone into a world where Scary Terry will chase her instead. And once again, teaching a gullible generation that boiler rooms are bad. Hashtag not all boiler rooms. You're gonna have to be more specific. Diane Kruger might show up instead. She's having some trouble finding him, probably because he doesn't want to be hitting the junk with a sledgehammer. And if he's a vampire, why does he have that? So many plot holes in this film. So much for me having my nightly Pauline Kael sex dream tonight. At least she's waking up with some roses to put on Glenn's grave. Things seem to be okay.
I'm crazy after all.
Ah! This is the 8th pair of pants that I've shit in, and after this I'll have to start re-shitting in the first pair. Ah, finally, it's starting to get hilarious. Just wait until he steps on the Christmas ornaments. Oh no, what are you doing? You're gonna burn his skin! And you're completely messing up the house. I'm sure they'll hire the same cleaning man who was so good at mopping up Glenn. The next scene is actually more of a crossover with the burning bed. Who knew they took place in the same universe? Even Mom's skeleton is too drunk to remember any of this the next day. Well, it was nice of him to make the bed afterwards. It's the little things that make a serial killer likable.
Now do you believe me?
No. And I've seen far too many horror films to buy that he is dead. Even though, well, I guess he's technically dead anyway. Whatever, just defeat the bastard.
I take back every bit of energy I gave you. You're nothing.
I'll have to remember that the next time I confront a murderer, I'll just call him an asshole, and then he'll leave. Plus, he'll get the fear back by sending Jason after them. Wait, what the fuck? Was this all a dream? Did this movie just wisdom us? I think this movie just wisdomed us. Maybe. I don't know. It's just a guess. Whatever. What the fuck is going on here?
No, baby, I'm gonna stop drinking. I just don't feel like it anymore.
Yep, it's that easy. See, I told you earlier in the video that they'd be fine at the end of the movie. Surely nothing terrible is gonna happen next.
Good girl.
What's going on? Hey, I'm not doing it.
So Freddy is still alive and he's partnered with Christine? I can't say I saw that coming. And turning Mom into a dummy before pulling her through a window is another image that's gonna haunt my fucking dreams. Long story short, stop living on streets with creepy children. It will end in bloodshed that they'll happily be singing about. I don't even need to talk about the acting, the filmmaking, or the storytelling, because clearly all the audience is interested in is bloodshed. That movie was scary as hell! And why am I being so snobby about a movie that has a 93% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes and made back nearly 20 times its budget? Oh, I'll tell you why. It's because I'm so snobby that I'm also a nonconformist. Hating on a product that everybody likes is what makes me look cool, but actually just makes me look like an asshole. Perhaps I'll be a lot nicer if I get to the second one, which I hear is a movie that everyone likes. But then I'll get very angry at the other sequels for not being as dark as the original film, and then get even more mad at the remake for being dark and not funny like the sequels. Now comes the part in the review where it turns out that this was all just a dream, and then Freddy Krueger's gonna show up and chase me all throughout the house until I defeat him by getting very pissed off at his movie.